Alright then everyone, hello and welcome to the fastest street circuit in the world. We are here for the Jeddah Corniche circuit for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, round 2 of the Season 10 NEF1 Esports Championship. And now we are in a very interesting situation in the championship indeed. Squidge 2017 for the first time is leading the championship after taking the win away from Tess last week out in Bahrain. We missed the Wilco, an unlikely third in the championship after his brilliant season opener last week as well, which saw him claim his first ever podium in NEF1, as we already have cars out on track. Let me know that the audio balance is good as well, as I've played about with it a little bit. So let me know if that is all good. We are already having cars out on the circuit. Holman is one of those, also in with a good performance last week out in his debut. So was Reina, who's coming out on the circuit now. Mr. Wilco, however, was the one who got that podium after some harsh criticism from my end, should be said, regarding strategy and how he approached the end of the race. Still got the job done. Luna Van currently sitting in second, missed out on any points last week out. She'll be hoping to avenge that result this week out in Saudi Arabia. It's a very tricky circuit, especially coming through the section that she's just coming through now. You don't want to bottom out over these curves with slides straight on. Honor Check will be a bit disappointed with last week's race. He'll be hoping for a better performance today, as will the two Alpines that could do no better than a couple of points scraped together. Ray W25, that is Sam Obama with a gamer tag changes. Danny DC's hopping in the stream. As Matty, thank you for the feedback as well. I'll do that as soon as I can. As welcome Danny to stream. Hopefully you're having a good time. That's Danny DC 97, one-time NEF1 champion and the inaugural NEF1 champion. So before we get anything going, I'm just going to play about a little bit with this. See if I can sort that balancing out. It's always a bit of a balancing act, but let me know if this is better than. So here we go, Jamar on an outlap. The only ones not an outlap at the moment, Makis, BT, along with iWatts, Matty and Mr. Wilco. Both Alpines will be slightly disappointed with their result from last week. But we'll see how it all plays through. Kit W41 hoping for a better race tonight, but this track is going to be very, very difficult for everyone playing on a controller. And that's a couple of lads out there, so we'll see how they get on. But Kit now then starting his lap, using quite a bit of battery along that main straight just to get a run down into the first corner. Braking hard, second or third gear heading into turn 1, then maybe just a switch down for the second part, but that's laggy Kit W41. Is that going on with all the other cars? No, it appears to just be Kit at the moment. We'll hop off board and hop on with him. A bit of time to hopefully see everything stable out. If we have a yellow flag through sector 3, so Ferrari going slowly just around that final corner. Noah Van flat out through this little section. This barely even a corner, just a little kink until 2 downshifts, maybe even 3. That's down to 4th gear that for Noah. Tackling that fast right left-handers. Maybe a gear too much. We'll see approaching the next one. Taking that in 6th gear is Noah. You would assume that's quite right. Getting very close to walls inside that third sector, sticking to the inside, just minimizing the amount of distance that you force your car to go. And now then braking for the last corner, imperative to get your car slowed down and get a good line through there. Noah maybe just slightly wide of the optimal, not too much, and he's going to come through for a relatively quick lap here. It's going to be good enough for P2, not better than Squidges though. Quicker by 4/10 of a second, and Honor Check is up to second now. And where is Tess, who's going to be good around here, hoping for revenge on Bahrain as well. Just saw his strategy come out of play a little bit. Starting in 2 sets of mediums, forced him into a late pit stop after a safety car that saw Squidge able to go to the end, and that was the way the Test lost out on. Djokovic, well and truly back this season pace-wise as well. A little bit of an unfortunate incident last race out, so him DNF from the race, the first retirement of the season. Then was Djokovic coming out of turn 9 and 10, if I'm not mistaken. But now running all the way up in a second yet again. So here we go then with Tess coming across the line to see what he's going to be able to do for the first run. It's going to be P4, 28.199. We usually see a couple of late improvements from Tess. So we'll see how he gets on. And how is Ray getting on? Now it's Ray and not Samo. That'll take some getting used to, so I apologize in advance for any wrongdoings that I'm sure will be coming. And again, it's fourth corner going through that chicane, so maybe they know something that I don't. I would assume so. I'm not quite on these guys' level anymore. I'd probably be left behind by a good couple of seconds per lap as to the fastest guys in this league now. Takes a big man to admit that. Here we go then, Marcus for his first lap back into NEF1. Guy we talked a little bit about in the Season 10 reveal stream, but not absent, or not present should be said, for the first race this season in Bahrain. Back now though for the second round, coming back at Saudi Arabia. And what a race to come back to. So then through this very long left-handed, almost a hairpin S corner, but it's just basically a long sweeping corner, isn't it? It doesn't really qualify for a hairpin due to how long it is. Oh, and that's the risk if you get on that inside curb, and that's the front wing emplet of Mack has gone into the wall, and that's lap over. And if you get on the inside curb following that right-left, that's what can happen. So you've got to avoid that or take it straight across. A bit unfortunate of an incident that from Mack, will have time to go again. Mr. Wilco then, now a one-time podium sitter in newer F1 Esports on his first lap of this session. What's it going to be for Wilco? More of a difficult track. This is 29.6, only ahead of Wigan for the time being. Good lap from Ray, that up to 28.4. And as for Matty at the moment, completely missed that lap, but it's a 127.950 for Matty Adam at a track which he very, very much enjoys. So now then, we will see if Matty can maybe get a bit of payback on last week's race. So I'm very disappointed coming away with only 2 points. As further yellow flags up in sector 2, that's about 10 minutes ago in this session now. It's going to start ramping up quickly as a beat has been disqualified from this session for whatever reason. I have no clue why, but he is going to be starting plumb last. We'll see if we can get a word as to why. But now we'll know then that we won't be seeing Beatty up until the Grand Prix, and that's a very, very unfortunate situation for whatever caused it. As here we go with Holman then, had a very, very good first outing in Bahrain, hoping to improve on it here in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a difficult race this. It's going to be a very, very different race. And I reckon quite a lot of setup differences as well in between all the drivers. We'll see how it all pans out. Oh, a little bit of a tyre squill for Holman coming into the final corner now. He gets a very, very decent exit. Is he coming into the pit lane? Yes, he is. So Van Mack is on his second outlap. Kit holding station in the pit lane, and Iwat is out there on track now with a lovely purple helmet. Is that one of the Lewis Hamilton designs? I think it is. Looked absolutely brilliant. So Iwat's then rounds that final corner in his Mercedes. Teammates up to 5th place. Where can Iwat's place the Mercedes? It's going to be about a 129.5. It's a 129.7 up to 13th ahead of Wigan, who's on an outlap. Needs to improve a bit further. Marcus, where can we expect him? See around where his teammate is, currently sitting in P8, but it's a stacked top 10 right now. All drivers that should realistically be able to finish on the podium at least once or twice this season. Matty Adam leads the field then from Squidge, who's currently on the lap as well. He's improving by 10.5 through the first sector alone, so this could be rapid. So here we go, Squidge looking to increase his championship lead even further with a good result here. He's won here in the past, taking the win away from Matty Adam, if I'm not mistaken, not too long ago. Oh, that's an aggressive turn in that from Squidge. The car just stuck to it, but that was pure commitment. Now the question is, do you actually gain time by throwing the car into a turn like that? Or did he just go a little bit deep? We won't know until he crosses the line. But that was very aggressive from Squidge. If you looked at his turn in there, if you go back, incredibly aggressive turn in. But it is going to be an improvement by almost 4 tenths of a second into the mid-27s at a 6.47. That's a very, very good lap indeed. Tess is on his second run. He's improving a little bit for the first sector. And how is Ondercheck doing? He's coming up to the same sector split. He's improving by a bit more. So Tess right now, not loving the first sector. But could that car be set up for a good second sector potentially? Now he's got a beautiful slipstream of one of the Alpines. He'll better get out of the way. Oh, it's a bit of a messy getaway there from, I believe that was Prix, but managed to work with it. Did give Tess a little bit of drag down that back straight though. As here we go then, final DRS zone for Tess. I'm gonna nail that final braking zone now. Ondercheck's coming up to the scene and Djokovic has just started a flying lap. And what is this going to be for Tess? It's going to be an improvement by 1/10 and a half and up in 4th place. Ondercheck's coming around the final corner. It's just round the final corner, sorry. Across the line and up with 1/10 and a half up in 3rd place. Djokovic now improving by almost half a second in the first sector alone. So if he can just maintain the same pace through sector 2 and sector 3 that he had, but he can't, and oh, that's Djokovic heavily into the wall behind his teammate, just went too heavy into the chicane. Oh, but that was such a promising go from Djokovic that could have everyone frightened. If he would have just been able to maintain his sector 2 and sector 3 times, he would have been on provisional pole position. That's how good that first sector was. Here we go then with Matty Adam 98. Currently 3 tenths behind provisional pole. Sitting in P2 though, so it's a big gap between 1 and 2. 5.5 minutes to go, and riding those curbs nicely, not getting on them too much, but decisively enough for them not to spin him out. As here we go then, through the right-left chicane that saw Djokovic's lap and in half break. What has Makis done? P9 on 28. That's a good lap from the NEF1 returnee. Here we go then with Matty coming up to the second sector split in just a couple of moments. See what he's able to produce. He's improving by enough to maybe challenge for P1. Ray W25 has improved past Matty up to P2 now, just a couple of hundreds behind Squidge. And this is gonna go down to the wire, this qualifying session. We'll wait and see. Matty ahead of Ondercheck by 7 thousandths, but a lot of ground to make up to the front row. Can he do it? It's on the last couple of meters now. With 4 minutes 40 to go, Matty comes across for P1 and it's a 27.580, and he should very well be in the hunt for pole position here with that type of pace. Absolutely brilliant stuff from Matty. Luna coming through the first sector. She is 3.5 tenths up on her previous best. That could see her this rate improvement well inside the top 10. Currently about a second off her teammate. That's Emreina sitting in P8, continuing his show of force from the previous race in Bahrain. It was a very, very good race from Emreina. Noah's retired from the session. Yellow flags out in sector 2, sector 3, everybody. Stay where, or sector 1, sorry. That was completely my bad. Yellow flags in sector 1. Noah's out of this session. Terminal damage through the SS. As Luna Van is making her approach to the final corner. Hard braking zone, hardest one on the circuit. Second gear for the corner, third on the exit now. Power down to the start finish line. What's it going to be for Luna? Maybe her last attempt, P12. So Noah Van could be in a bit of trouble here because a lot of cars just behind him on time. Djokovic now out on track. Recon's been able to join the lobby. Hopefully can claim a car. Maybe even get a lap in on the board if we're lucky. So that'd be quite something. But Recon will hopefully be racing. He's qualified to do so as well. Driving a bit of a tough time out last week. So then, Djokovic, we know he has the pace now to challenge at the very, very front. Needs to hook up a full lap together. So here we go then, Djokovic for his final attempt this session. Gonna be relatively aggressive now into turn 1 and 2. Fast on the exit though, third gear, second gear into turn 1. Car getting very nicely out of the way on the pit lane exit there. Well done to the Sauber, I believe that's Reina potentially. So well done to him. And here we go then. Djokovic's lap has been invalidated already. Bit of a touch with the barrier. But now recharge the batteries, go again and hope he has enough fuel for one final go, but it's been a bit of a scrappy session so far from Djokovic. He's going to have one more go at this though, as is Mack is on his final run right now. Through the SS, traffic up ahead. Be wary because you've got to move out of the way. That's a Red Bull of hybrid now. Oh, might that have been just a bit of dirty air getting in the way? Be impossible to tell. Mackes will know, but he has one more go at this as well, as we now have a lot of traffic out on circuit. Everyone try to just spread out a little bit and be wary of what's coming up behind you. As here we go then with Wigan on his final go at this. So Djokovic's about to start his final lap as well. So Haas in sector 1, there's a Williams coming up behind you. Same for the Aston Martin just now. It's 2 splits, faster cars approaching. Wiggins, a bit of a scrappy sector 1, not ideal, but now coming up to the sector 2 split, he's not improving. Through the fast left-hander, and it's a Haas maybe just on the outside of this corner. Wait and see. And now Wigan is coming through the right left-hander. Very, very fast corner. Easy to get wrong, as we saw from Djokovic a little bit earlier on. How is Wigan going to be doing into the sector split? And there's a massive car park now at the final corner, and everyone's going to be slipstreaming off each other into sector 1, and this could prove tricky. Wiggins improving, and now he's going to get a massive tow on through the Haas. That's not really going to want to let him by, but he'll be obliged to. But that Haas needs to get out of the way. Does a bad job of doing so. He does Mr. Wilkers, not ideal. But here we go. Wigan rounds the final corner, goes deep, and that could be the end of his lap, presumably. Wasn't a brilliant effort, comes into the pit lane. That is qualifying over for Wigan, as Djokovic improves by a couple attempts through sector 1, and he's a threat here now, is Djokovic. So runs the sector 2 split, he is improving, but is it going to be by enough? Needs to improve a lot in this third sector. There's one braking zone to do so, but you can find temps there if you get it absolutely spot on. Djokovic now rounds the final corner in just 1 second here. Nice on the turning, nice on the braking, good on the exit. Could that have been an improvement that Djokovic was looking for? He'll shoot up position, maybe 2, maybe more. We'll wait and see. Djokovic only P4 with that lap. That could have been so much better. Ray has invalidated. Matty has aborted his lap as well, and is not going to be improving. It's now all in the hands of Squidge, who's going to get a massive tow down the back straight from his teammate. This might have been timed to perfection. Where is Tess in all of this? He is just behind now, I believe, so we'll go on board with him as soon as we can. Ferrari gets out of the way there. We'll have to get out of the way of the Mercedes as well. Squidge runs the final corner. Is he going to be able to improve past Matty? Needs less than a tenth of a second to do so, and Tess is coming up behind him. Squidge takes P1 away from Matty by a couple of tenths of a second, and Tess moves up into P4. Matty not with the final run he would have been dreaming of, but it's front row start for Matty out of 98. Ray in third. Is a good qualifying session for the Alpines. Tess in fourth, Djokovic in fifth, with Ondrejek in sixth and Reina in seventh. Noah holds on to P8, Holman in ninth, and Jamar in 10th. Mack is finishing just outside with the 2 Hasses behind him. Iwat in 14th, Luna, difficult qualifying session for her, and Wigan with Kit in 17th. Really struggling for pace here in Saudi Arabia, but Recon got time on the board. Well done to him in P12 for Haas. It's giving him a good opportunity for the Grand Prix to move up a couple of places. But then Squidge 2017 with a pole position here in Saudi Arabia. That's a 100% pole rate this season from Squidge 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Matty with his best performance in quali for a long time, if I'm not mistaken, in P2. Ray in third. So this is a comeback that Alpine would have been praying for. They're separated by a tenth of a second and they're just ahead of Tess's Ray, well, by 5 thousandths. Djokovic just behind in fifth. So then we're just waiting for the final cast to cross the line. It's going to go down in just a minute there with the Haas of, I believe it's Mr. Wilco about to come across the line. That will see the end of qualifying procedures here in Saudi Arabia for, well, the best qualifying session of the season so far. Not too much competition, but a bit for sure. And there we go then. Yet another pole position. Yet another good qualifying result for Squidge in the Ferrari. Matty in second, Ray in third. So this is going to be an interesting race, but it's a big gap from P1 to P2. But Matty, Ray didn't really get the laps in they would have been hoping for. So could it have been different? We'll wait and see. But then we are just going to go off for a couple of minutes before we get this race underway. So no one ready up on the grid. Everyone stay tuned in the stream because the Grand Prix is coming up. We'll just be going to a couple of minutes worth of a break. So then, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back for the full Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. 25 laps of racing action is coming up in a little bit of time. Alright then everyone, we are back for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and the ready up has been given. Means we'll be racing in about 30 seconds time for the Saudi Grand Prix. One of the staples on the NEF1 calendar ever since we implemented it back in, I believe, Season 3 or Season 4 potentially. It's always been one of the best races in this league, and hopefully it races as good on this game as it has on previous ones. It should be maybe even better. We saw a definite improvement in racing last week out in Bahrain on this new game. So let's just hope that transitions over to Saudi Arabia. Squidge then is going to take pole position away from Matty Adam on the first row of the grid for the first time this season. It's Matty Ray in P3, and that's a very, very good qualifying position for him. He's usually not been up there in qualifying too much, but has gotten a few good race results recently as well. Test starting on the hard tyres in 4th, race the outlier inside the top 5 on the mediums, with Djokovic on the hards in 5th, Ondrejek on the hards. Then it's a split between mediums and hard tyres throughout the field, as you can see on the left hand side of your screen there. Reina in 7th, with Noah trying to go a bit longer in 8th, Holman in 9th, and Jamar in 10th. We're expecting this to be a one stop, either a medium to hard or hard to medium, but will that change with the appearance of a safety car? Slightly higher damage settings on for the drivers this season than what has been in the previous couple of seasons. That could definitely play a factor as well. And we have a couple of people disqualified from this formation lap. They'll still be taking part of the race. Kid, also please do your best to close up to the back of the field. So then, Squidge 2017 versus Matty Adam for the first lap is going to be very, very interesting to see who can get the launch. Djokovic coming from 5th place. Could have maybe been slightly better in qualifying, but had a bit of a messy second run. As Reason 022 is cheering on Noah 48. Difficult qualifying, only P8 after an incident mid-on in the second phase of qualifying. They can see possible one-stop strategy here. Medium to hard tire, or in Noah's case, a hard to medium. We'll see what Noah can do. His teammate's up in 6th place. He's sitting in 8th. Still a very, very competitive position to be in. Midway through the pack is when Noah's going to be starting this race. Holman right behind him. Jamar's going to be putting up a fight as well. Noah and Jamar used to battling along with each other from last season. So then everyone is lining it up. Squidge on the outside. On the racing line, should provide for some good grip on the getaway. Matty has the inside for turn 1. Is that going to be beneficial? They're angling their cars towards each other. Squidge quite aggressively towards the left-handed side to try to cover off Matty. Matty fancies getting such a good launch to cover off Squidge 2017. Here we go for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about to get underway. It is lights out and away we go, and Squidge gets a very good getaway. Matty really doesn't. His teammate's just on his outside, but is he going to let that one go? Matty holds the position. Ravo takes it on the exit, and that's going to allow Djokovic to maybe have a little look. We have a virtual safety car just after a corner, and that's a massive problem for, I believe, one of the Haas's stationary. It's a big gap. There's an ABT facing the wrong way of the circuit without a front wing, I believe, and a lot of cars are off. iWatts has had a problem. Thought that was Test for just a moment, as Marcus as well, sitting now back in P16, losing 5 and 3 positions respectively. Recon with a tough getaway. But what has happened with Kit there, who is sitting in 13 places right now, 12 positions up, but is now letting people go. What is happening to Kit, who is going past people on the safety car? We now have a full safety car. We now have full safety car conditions as well, should be pointed out. Did Kid either just get a mega getaway, or what has gone on there for Kid 41? As we're having reports that Tess might have been overtaken under safety car. We'll have a look at that. So if anyone's been overtaken on the safety car, make sure to submit that. As Kit, what on earth are you doing, buddy? Slow down. Safety car conditions apply. Let people go. You're not racing one bit. As Kit has left the session now for whatever reason. I don't know if that's connectivity issues or what's been going on. I don't know if anyone can actually overtake Kit here. Matty, if you fancy, try having a go at him now that he's ghosted. Try going straight through and see if the game will allow you to, if you want to. It's entirely up to you, but if you fancy having a go at it, you are free to do so. As it's not allowed him to do so, I don't believe. Yeah, Matty, I'm working on sorting the issue. So Kit, please see the Discord chat if you can. If not, everyone, when we go green from the safety car again, Kit will still be ghosted. Feel free to drive straight through him. Kit has also been obliged to, when he gets back into the lobby, go into the pit lane and have a pit stop in order to get back to his natural position. So hopefully the safety car stays out for just a bit longer. It's been a scrappy start to the race this, but Squidge did get a very good getaway in P1 with Ray managing to get past Matty Adam on the start in P2. Kit there is unrepresentative with Matty in P4 and Djokovic in P5. And Ray now decent start, up one position. Tess started problem down 3 positions on start into 7th place. Holman in 8th, Jamer in 9th, and Noah just slipping back a little bit into 10th place. As now I'm seeing Kit in my list, so hopefully it means that, hopefully at least that means he can get into his car and serve a 1 of 2 Kit mandatory pit stops. It'll be now. Just get back to his previous position. Or Kit, what I believe you could do is go off circuit at some point and stay that, let people go. That's if you can get back into your car and rejoin in P18 behind a beat. This is your starting position. But that means Kit needs to be able to get back into his car. So technical difficulties here for the first race. We'll see if it can be resolved. Safety car right now is staying out, but I believe it might be coming in. And there we go, the safety car is coming in this lap. We're not getting notifications from it for whatever reason, but the lights came off the safety car, and Squidge now is the de facto safety car, free to restart this race at will. Everyone feel free to go straight through the AI of Kit on the start. Wait until after the safety car control line will be the crucial thing though, or the game will give you a penalty. Safety car now in the pit lane, and Squidge is free to restart this race at his will. As there we go. Matty now free to go after Kit, hopefully without issues there. And everyone just feel free to drive through that Red Bull in P5. Squidge with a good race restart then. Manages to clear Ray, who is on the better tyres though, and he's going to put pressure on the Ferrari for the first lap or two, or can maybe get rid of it. That's very, very wide run through turn 4 for Ray W25. Matty now in P3 with Djokovic in 4th, and they're all running very wide through the S's. Maybe those tyres just aren't up to temperature as of yet. It's already down into 9th place. Zamrena's made up a couple of places on the restart, so has Djokovic. Someone's had an issue around that restart. I can't quite tell out who it was though. But we have Ferrari in the lead of the Grand Prix. That is Squish 2017. He's a full second ahead of Ray W25 and Matty Adam in P3. We'll see how long it takes before those Alpines switch around, because here comes Djokovic and Reina behind him, who's having a very, very good little run on the 3-time champion into the 3rd sector. And now it's a lovely little shot that. Thank you very much, Codemasters, for providing things like that. And now Slipstream ERS might actually be able to have a go at Djokovic into the final corner. Closing, 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 looking towards the outside. Djokovic shutting the door very late there, but Reina not far behind. Noah's left this session potentially with connectivity issues. We'll give him an invite in just a moment. As Reina now is going to have yet another go at Djokovic, maybe potentially into turn 1, but not quite close enough to make a move yet. Djokovic, meanwhile, is running very, very closely behind Matty Adam, and now we're coming up to sector 1 again, which saw a lot of issues on the opening lap. So here we go, an undercheck with a job to do now, down 5 positions on his race, starting P11, so he'll have a couple of positions to make up. But now everyone's seemingly into a rhythm through sector 1. It looked quite funny, everyone going very, very wide into the fast couple of corners. As we are just going to get an invite sorted to Noah real quick if we can find him. There we go. As an invite pending, and everyone should be happy as Squitch has pulled out yet another couple attempts on Ray and is running off with the lead of this Grand Prix in the way he would have been wanting. Undercheck is round back of Iwatts, now is running up in P9. A couple of positions behind his teammate, separated by Holman and Jamar, and that's a bit of a loose moment for Undercheck there, right behind Iwatts, with DRS now enabled, which means that this circuit potentially overtake it will. Shall wait and see. Iwatts goes a little bit deep into the left-hander, followed by the right-hander, and that should set Undercheck up beautifully for a cheeky move down the inside, and says thank you very much and goodbye to the Mercedes of Iwatts. So that's Undercheck up at a P9, a bit closer to his starting position. Here we go then, Matty now having a go on his teammate. Is not going to make it difficult for him. The Alpine swap, and now Matty's free to go after Squidge for the lead of the Grand Prix. Squidge in P1, 2 seconds ahead of P2 Matty. Ray in third is now going to have to defend a little bit from Djokovic, and then Reina. Tess sitting in 6th place. See if Noah's been able to get back into the lobby. Yes. Currently sitting in 13th, so losing out a little bit, not too much, thankfully. Oh, and that's contact with the wall from Jamar, and is that potentially taking a front wing end plate out? It's a bit erratic there from Jamar. Now Undercheck coming up behind him. I'd love an off-board shot of that Ferrari. Yeah, it's a front wing end plate gone for Jamar, and it's a lot of downforce lost at this. I can expect to see that Ferrari into the pit lane. Undercheck now should be able to clear that Ferrari quite easily. That will have slightly better performance on the straights, though, but yeah, you can just see how much Jamar has to slow down for every single corner now, and Undercheck's going to be increasingly frustrated with that. And is he going to go by already? I might have a cheeky go here into the next corner. Jamar's going to have to slow down so much for this corner. Yeah, not a problem for Undercheck to get rid of Jamar. And on the exit, losing out quite a bit. There's a lot of points of downforce gone off of that Ferrari. You would expect him to come into the pit lane. Unforced error going into the wall, and that is Jamar's race severely compromised. Up behind him is Undercheck's teammate Noel, now inherit P9 as Jamar is coming into the pit lane on lap 7. However, he is currently on the hard tyres though, meaning he'll need to select a medium or a soft at one point during this race. It's not ideal. Maybe at this point you could slap on a set of hard tyres and go to the end. as Matty, I believe, has made some sort of a mistake and Ray has gotten past him again. Maybe an error from Matty there. Completely missed it, but that's an issue for Ray, who's out of the race. And might we have the second safety car of the race? Yeah, we do. Big incident in Sector 1. Ray into the wall in Sector 1, and that is him out of the Grand Prix, getting caught on the curb there, maybe, and into the wall, left-hand side. And that is such a difficult start to the season for Ray W25, and he's looking so good through qualifying and the opening stages of this Grand Prix, but then just getting caught on the curb, the car going away from him. And now we have the second safety car of this race. So then, the advantage that Squidge just built up is going. However, is he now coming into the pit lane? No, he does not. Matty might think about it, doesn't. Djokovic, yeah, they're all baiting each other going into the pit lane, but no one's falling for it. Everyone out now on the hard tyres, and Reynavo is coming in for a set of, you would assume, hard tyres, get rid of those mediums. Same for Holman, and this now could compromise leaders quite a bit. Starting on the hards, maybe not the best chance at a circuit like this, where a risk of safety car is quite high. It's the second safety car already we've had on lap 8. It's the first time in a long time that we've had this tight an interval of safety cars in New Era. It's been a long time since we had this. As it's a very, very big shame for Rayvad, who's looking really good for a good result early on here in this season. Now all came away from him on lap 7 in this Grand Prix. Unforced error, but again, very, very easily made around a circuit like this, where downforce is so hard to come by, especially when the car gets loose. It's not a snap of oversteer, the rear just goes from you, and there's no saving those, unfortunately. As I want to make clear to everyone behind as well, I'm Reina, Holman, Mr. Wilco, you are still free to go through the Ghost of Kit W41. Don't have to pass around and don't have to treat him like a driver, you can just go straight through him. He is a ghost and outside this lobby, which is why I'm saying that you don't have to treat him as a driver, you can just treat him as someone who isn't there. Just go straight through that Red Bull on the restart if you fancy, but don't do it before the safety car control line or you'll get a penalty. So then, and this has massively helped Ondercheck out, who's on a set of mediums at the moment. Maybe should have elected to go onto the set of hards and try to go to the end, but now on a set of mediums, gonna try to do some damage. Noah's on a hard tires. He made a pit stop this race, I don't believe so. No, he has not. Ondercheck surely isn't gonna be able to go to the end of those tires, but he is free to go after the top 4. Djokovic right now with a penalty. 3-second time penalty for breaching track limit violations. And Matty right on the back of Squidge itching to get going, who should be racing at the end of this lap, hopefully. Jamar getting away a bit cheaply there, maybe with the safety car, but he would have loved that for that to come out a lap earlier. see BT running a little bit behind the pack. Please close up as best as you can, BT. As by the look of things, we might have the safety car in for now. The safety car is coming into the pit lane at the end of this lap. We are going racing. This doesn't give Squidge much to play with, but the safety car is ending. So now I'll have a second go at a restart here. See where he decides to go. The safety car now into the pit lane, and Squidge is free to restart this race at will. Matty right there with him, but it's so hard to judge when someone's going to go, and Squidge gets a good restart. Matty following him along, and it's like a snake down into turn one, but Squidge holds the position. Second restart of this race, and he's handled them well. Matty though doing everything he can to just follow along. Luna's past the Mercedes of Iwat into P7. They're going to go side by side. Iwat round the outside. Had to go off circuit. Iwat, you're obliged to relinquish that position, unfortunately, but he had to go offside. Had to go off circuit to keep it. Noah then P6, Undercheck P5 with Tess in P4, Djokovic in third, Matty in second, and Squidge in first. Iwat's currently sitting in 7th, being challenged by Reina. Luna sitting in 9th. Yellow flags in sector 1, that's BT who's had a difficult start to the restart currently. Yellow flags through sector 1, but it's on the other side of the lap. As Mac is now sitting behind the Red Bull of Kid. He has Mr. Wilco behind him, but it's a big gap formed already, and Mac is feel free to go through the AI of Kid. No worries at all. As here we go, then DRS is about to open for the first time. Not this race, but for the first time in a long time it feels like. Maybe second or third time this race by the look of things. As Matty might be able to have a go at Squidge in just a moment. So here we go then, under the lights in Saudi Arabia. Squidge leads the Grand Prix from Matty and Djokovic, with Tess in 4th and Undercheck in 5th. It's a good result at the moment for Arabian. It's a good recovery from Undercheck doing what he's done so far. So then Squidge now just about to break that 1 second gap on Matty. Crucial for Matty to stay inside as you can make up a lot of time with DRS around this set. But now he's just going to manage a corner or two more inside that 1 second. But I believe he might have just missed out. He's doing everything to push through to get that DRS open. But it's not going to happen on this first straight. It is going to happen for the next straight though. Crucially enough for Matty. And that could allow him to have a go at Squidge into turn 1 in just a bit of time. Djokovic hanging with there as well, along with Tess in the middle of this train now. Matty crucially with the DRS open. Yellow flags in sector 3. What is going on there? Just a little off going potentially. BT's coming out of the pit lane now into sector 1. So then Matty with the DRS open, but not close enough to Squidge to really get it to have an effect. Closing in substantially, not by enough, as Djokovic is sitting right there in 3rd as well. I was right now on the back of Holman. They're separated by about half a second with Jamar between them. Or not Jamar between them, Jamar just behind them. Sorry, the English today isn't doing brilliantly with Luna in 11th. Marcus is P12, is 2.7 seconds behind, and by the look of things, not too confident for the first sector, which is definitely an issue for him. Recon all the way down in 13th. He's not had a race that he would have been hoping for. But rapidly closing on the back of Mac is now might be able to have a go on this lap. As here we go then, Matty significantly closer to Squidge on this time around. A half race distance completed, lap 12 out of 25. Now 12 and a half laps into this race, out of 25 and half race distance as mentioned. And Matty is sticking with Squidge incredibly well. The circuit that he likes incredibly much. Could he potentially have a little go at an overtake for the lead here? Here we go. Squidge holding the outside, not going defensive as of yet, but Matty is very much there. Some Reina past Ondracek then for P5 and making progress. Not quite close enough into turn 1 to make a move. Djokovic right there as well, but Tess almost losing out on that 1 second gap, and Reina just behind them. As Iwas now been overtaken by Jamar, I believe, down to P10 for Iwas. Then it's time to see what strategy everyone is on. A couple of people yet to make their stops. That's going to come into play in a little bit of time. They'll have to make up a lot of ground on them, Reina and Ondracek. Ondracek shouldn't be able to extend those ties to the end, but it might be worth a go. And Reina should be able to. They'll be very, very worn by the end of it. But we're coming into pit territory for the leaders now. Are they waiting for another safety car? That very well could happen this race. Or will they have to make those overtakes for the leader Grand Prix on track? Right now everyone's running very closely to each other. If anyone pits now, they'll be coming out plumb lost, maybe just out of wicket. So that means they'd be coming out in P15 if Squidge pitted now. Not a brilliant position to be in with the safety car starting on the hard tyres, and this opens the door for someone like Reina to claim a first win in NEF1 potentially. Matty getting closer and closer to Squidge, but not even remotely close enough to make a move. Overtaking might be a bit more difficult than imagined here. Ondracek is doing a job on the mediums. Could it be worth for Ondracek to maybe go onto the hard tyres quite soon and try to produce some sort of undercut on the leaders? In a good position to do so. So is Noah, if he has to pit again, which I believe he has to. Yeah, he does. So both RBs actually in quite a good position at the moment, but there's a lot of overtaking to be done. There's a lot of guys able to go to the end now already. There's also quite a couple of people starting to come into the pit lane at this stage of the Grand Prix. So Reina right now is doing everything he needs to, just sitting behind the front four on significantly fresher tyres, 6-lap-old hard tyres. Should be able to get to the end. They'll be worn by the end, but it'll be doable. As welcome Dominic to the stream. Hopefully you're having a good time. Squidge lead in Grand Prix, Matty in P2, Djokovic in P3, but it's been a bit of a messy start. Ray retiring early on, causing a safety car, and a safety car after lap 1, turn 1 as well. As Matty 4/10 of a second behind Squidge, just can't get by, and is it worth for Matty to maybe dab into the pit lane quite soon? As there goes Squidge, Matty follows him in as well, and these two have had some controversy into this particular pit lane before. Djokovic stays out, so does Tess now as well. They might be going for some sort of undercut. Ondracek follows through in his medium tyres going on for the front runners, then see what they're going to be able to do, but they've got a lot of ground to make up on them. Reina, yellow flags, Djokovic is out of race for the second time running. Djokovic crashes out of an NEF1 Grand Prix, and where's that contact happen? It's happened in Sector 1, and I believe he's clipped the wall on inside. Djokovic with such good pace early on this season, but a horrid start to the season as well. That's come seconds too late for Matty and Squidge. They would have wanted that just a couple of seconds earlier in order to gain a bit of time. Now is the question, can Tess, can Reina maybe even get into the pit lane if this virtual safety car stays out for a prolonged period of time? Can they get a cheap pit stop? Do you risk it? Nah, green flags already. Green flags already. But it looks like it might have actually helped Squidge and Matty out a little bit. They'll have a better knowledge of that than I do. But I believe they might have gotten away quite cheaply there, and if that's the case, then Tess has been almost a bit screwed over by a safety car for the second time in 2 races, and at this pace is going to be costing him valuable championship points. We'll wait and see. Is Tess gonna come in, or now is he almost forced to stay out a little bit and try to do something different, hoping for another safety car or virtual safety car here? Tess is coming in on lap 15. Medium tires will be going on then. This will be interesting to see where he comes out in comparison, but I believe he's going to be losing quite a bit. Yeah, Tess is going to be losing a lot on Squidge and Matty here. So they really have been impacted by this. Wow, they've been impacted by this. I didn't realize it would have been by that margin, but it cost Tess a good couple of seconds along with an undercut. 3 seconds down, so it's not cost him a massive amount, but it's cost him time for sure. Maybe about a second and a half, 2 seconds. That could be the undercut as well, proving very, very effective. And if that's the undercut, then iWatts and Luna needs to get in now as well, in order to not fall too far behind the guys they're battling. As Recon is now sitting in P6 on 8-lap-old hard tires, should be able to go to the end, and he's actually had a good strategy so far that's been working. He's on the back of iWatts and should be able to get that done, and maybe just coming up on the back of the Sauber as well. He's going to be tempted for it, but nah, not quite on this go at it. Luna will be struggling in those 14-lap-old hards to make it to the end. Is she going to be forced to give it a go? Potentially. Reina now in the lead of the Grand Prix. The question is, how much ground can Squidge make up? He's 11 seconds behind with less than 9 laps to go. Gonna make up a considerable margin and clear these slower cars very, very quickly. That's gonna be the difficult thing for him. Right now you can just see him being frustrated behind the wheel, being held back right now by iWatts. And he's going to try to have a go at iWatts as quickly as he can. Is Matty forced to maybe follow him through? iWatts brakes early. Matty just able to swoop around his outside. iWatts not want to get involved in that. He's running his own race. Squidge now right on the back of Luna immediately. And this is costing them time. And it's costing them valuable time. Squidge already down the inside of Luna, gonna try to have a go, gonna force his way into a good position into the next corner, and this is where Matty might be losing out a little bit if Squidge can get past, because the last car in this train is not gonna put up too much of a fight. As here goes Squidge, then he's gonna give it everything to get by Recon here, and there's a Ferrari on the outside here that's not going to be putting up too much of a fight, but that means he's surrendering in position maybe to Recon. Squidge now clear of a train, crucially for him, free to go after. And Reynan Holman, who ran very well in Bahrain, are now running very, very well here in Saudi Arabia. Starting on the medium tyres was the way to go in this Grand Prix. Matty now past these guys as well, and he's right behind Jamar, or past Luna should be said. Behind Jamar and behind Recon still. And gotta clear those ASAP. Yellow flags in Sector 2. It's McLaren of Beatty struggling around the hairpin. And Matty, yeah, he's just being held up again and now losing valuable seconds to Squidge already. An opportunity for a race win is gone then, maybe. Potentially for Matty Adam being this far behind already. But Squidge is he's closing down quickly. So this is going to go down to the wire, and Reynan Holman better watch their back. Matty now is past Jamar, but it's almost 4 seconds behind Squidge now. Over the course of a lap, that's how much time you can lose just by being caught behind these slower cars. Recon next in line, 1.4 seconds up the road, and Jamar did everything he could as well to keep Matty behind him. Is the service he got, and Tess is gonna unfortunately get the same level of service I imagine from Jamar for his teammates championship battle. Tess isn't gonna get any favors whatsoever from the second Ferrari here. Currently running in P7 is Tess, and Squidge on his way. Very, very quickly approaching Holman for P2, which would be a very good result. But Reina, more than a second a lap away now from claiming first NEF1 victory, and well, a victory for Sauber for, I don't know when was the last time we had a victory for Sauber. It might genuinely be back in Season 1 with a BT in that Alfa Romeo Sauber at that point. So then Holman can now see Squidge in his mirrors. Yellow flag in Sector 1, a BT. Dreadful race for him. I believe he's had a problem heading into turn 1, turn 3, turn 4 that is. For some reason I keep looking at that corner and thinking it's turn 1. I don't know why. But a BT is having a dreadful race right now. 1.5 minutes behind Kit in 15th. Which is just telling us how dreadful a race he has had. But now then, Squidge is within range of having to go at Holman here, and is within range, with that being said, of having to go at Reina for the Grand Prix victory. Matty has a lot of work to do, but it is still on. Now then, heading into turn 1, Squidge, how much of that battery is left to how much battery is left to attack Holman? The answer to that is a lot. Holman not able to put up any sort of a fight there, and Squidge straight through him. Reina's going to be kicking at seeing how easily that went for Squidge, and now Squidge is free to set off the leader of the Grand Prix. Matty, 3.9 seconds behind Holman. The win is looking very, very difficult. Just got massively held up there with Recon and I believe Luna and Jamar as well. So that's a tough break for Matt. He's been running brilliantly paced here, but P2, P3 is still very, very much on for Matt if he can keep his head down. 3.7 seconds up to Holman now. Squidge is closing the gap on Reina. By the look of things, we might have a last lap battle to decide this, but those hard tires of Reina are gonna start going off at any lap now. Luna's hard tire is 18 laps old, but she's doing a good job managing them, to be fair, with Macus 4 seconds behind, but closing a slight bit. As for Tess, he's chasing down Matty out of 98, now it's going to have a right go at him. 6 tenths behind now as we're coming up the final corner, and Tess doesn't seem to have a straight line speed to really attack people in this Grand Prix. Very, very fast through Sector 1 by the look of things, but it looks a handful, that Mercedes. It doesn't appear to be good in a straight line. As a BT now is retired from this Grand Prix, and we have a safety car, and that has turned this race on its head. Now, it's whomever dares to go into the pit lane this late on. Reina will be fuming with that. 2.5 seconds about ahead of Squidge, not able to have a go here. As Squidge has had some sort of issue. I don't know what's gone on there. Okay, late safety car. BT's out of this race then. That's triggered yet another safety car. Third safety car this Grand Prix. Reina should be an easy call to come in now. Just salvage a couple of points, but though, the timing of that really is heartbreaking. Squidge and Matty surely can't stay out. Neither can Tess, neither can Noah. Everyone behind them gearing up for the final 2 racing laps approximately on soft tires. Now the question is, do you maybe just stay on those hard tires for a gamble? I'm looking at a Holman with a time penalty as well. I don't know how harsh it is. It's a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. I know that's race over for Holman, that unfortunately. This late on is going to be a no points finish for Holman come the end of this race. And that is heartbreaking. It's going to be difficult for whomever has a track limit penalty as well. So then Morena, is he staying out? Is he going in? Staying out is Morena. Doesn't fancy going into the pit lane, but Squidge is. Squidge is gambling everything. What is Matty going to be doing then? He's coming in as well. I don't understand that from Matty going into the pit lane. Tess is not. Tess has surely made the right call here. Soft tyres for everyone else. But there's going to be traffic ahead of them. Matty, why have you not stayed out? Why have you not stayed out? Soft, medium tyres going on for Matty, and this is a disaster. Medium tyres on for Matty Adams 16. Oh, sorry, 98. That's last season. Medium tyres for Matty Adams 98. Who... What has gone on there? Squidge at least got the soft tyres, but he has a lot of ground to make up in the, well, 2 laps worth of racing. What are you thinking? Tess now in a prime position to actually win this Grand Prix. Holman has a drive-through penalty. He'll have to serve that straight as the safety car comes in, basically. And then Morena could be right for the taking. Tess has nailed this. Maybe so has Noah in order to battle their way for the win. Squidge, I believe, has just tossed a race win here. Matty's tossed a almost guaranteed podium. What are they doing? And I've spoken in this voice before last week out when I was questioning the strategy of Mr. Wilco letting people go whilst he had to battle away with the 3-second time penalty, and he just got that done. But this time it feels like such an easy call to stay out with just a few laps to go. If they're staying out on the hard tyres, then for God's sake stay out behind them on mediums. Especially Matty, that's gotta be some sort of menu problem for Matty Adam, him having selected mediums instead of softs. That's gotta be that type of issue. It can't be that Matty's elected to go mediums on the restart here. He's now leaving himself vulnerable to recon and undercheck, but this late safety car has... Well, it's shaking things up, I can tell you that. Now, Tess should be able to make easy work of him rain on the restart. 1 lap worth of safety car to go then. 15 runners and riders still remaining in this Grand Prix. As I do not understand, I really do not understand these strategy calls, but I'd love to get an explanation, and not a harsh explanation, but I'd love to know why at this point you go in for fresh tyres with such a short run to go and dropping positions as well. With the risk of dropping positions, I don't understand why you'd go back, because Squidge is going to have... He's not overtaking slow drivers now. It's going to be difficult for him, even on those soft tyres, to make up those 4 positions in 2 racing laps we're going to have in order to win this Grand Prix. And he's going to make his way past Tess as well, who's not going to be battling him too kindly, I can tell you that. Okay then, here we go. Holman will drive through penalty. That is going to get him out of the way relatively quickly. We're hoping that Holman delivers on that penalty quite early, so we have a clean fight for the win. But for Holman, really you want to serve it as late as possible, but he's got to serve it on lap 20. He's only going to have this opening restart lap to serve it, won't he? Between 24 and 25 on the lap, he's going to be able to serve that penalty, so it's a bit restricted as to how to approach this. As here we go, when the safety car lights are about to come off, you would imagine. Hopefully we have 2 laps worth of racing. Everyone's lined up, except Iwas, who's very much on the back. As there we go, the safety car lights are off, and now it's up to Morena to control the pace of this restart and get this race started at his command. So then, safety car is not into the pit lane yet. This is leaving Morena very, very restricted. Now the safety car is in. When does he go? There we go, as Holman now straight under pressure from Pez, who can't overtake past the safety car control arm. And now it's a straight go at this. Noah in P4, Squidge in P5, weaving, going down the inside of Noah straight away to try to take that position away. And he's got to pull this move off early if he wants to battle away for the win here. Side by side, but he has the inside line for the next corner. Maybe force his way down the inside of Holman as well. He's going to think about it. Runs out of Roman. That's dangerous driving from Squidge. Oh, dangerous for him, not by anyone else. It's brilliant driving from Squidge, but it's endangering his race. But he might just be able to have a go here. Tess now very much on the back of Reina for the last couple of laps, and this is going to decide the race win. And Reina might still be able to snatch a podium away from this race. Noah's lost out a couple of positions on this restart, unfortunate for him. But here we go, man. And Reina, Tess and Squidge is right there, and it might have been a very, very good call. Matty there on new mediums as well. Okay, new tyres were maybe worth it. Squidge, opportunistic through Sector 1, bold through Sector 1, and now it's going to be hard for Tess to defend this as well. No DRS for the first lap, but Reina so slow in terms of straight line speed. Tess down the inside, takes the lead in the Grand Prix, and Reina now with Squidge on his outside, Squidge forcing his way through, and now gotta have a go at Tess. Maybe in the last corner, its braking performance off that Ferrari will be significantly better. Tess expects it, and now Matty into the conversation as well. We're gonna have a freeway battle on the last lap, and this is gonna get messy. The championship leader versus the reigning champion. Squidge pulls ahead. Matty then follows through, and now is quicker in a straight line than Squidge. Can he have a go around the outside? He's gonna force his way down the inside of turn 2, and this is brilliant. Matty puts a right go at Squidge, who just can't get by. Squidge has to cover the inside into turn 3 and turn 4, but that's brilliant. Squidge all his way up to P1, Matty in P2, making his way on the mediums as well, and had that been soft tyres, what could we have seen from the one-time NEF1 champion? Is left to see, but Squidge has lost it, and that is Squidge into the wall. Matty 3-second time penalty, and Tess penalty free. Might be able to win this race on penalties now if Underjack doesn't get past him, because Tess is not going to have DRS. Maybe on to the next DRS zone. Could Underjack win this Grand Prix? He's going to give it absolutely everything. Squidge into the wall, unforced error. Matty, is he out of DRS range? Can Tess win this Grand Prix in the weirdest of circumstances? Here comes Underjack, and he's going to give it absolutely everything. Tess still outside the 1 second gap. ERS light is flashing. He is gearing up for everything they'll need on the last straight, but it's going to come down to this. Tess versus Underjack. Underjack, he's fast approaching, rounds the outside of Tess into the final corner. Tess is not going to be able to die from there. Matty, he had it in his grasp, but 1 3-second time penalty maybe for avoiding action with Squidge is going to cost him dearly. Underjack takes the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix after never leading it once. With Tess in second, Recon makes it his first podium, if I'm not mistaken, in NEF1. And the second consecutive podium for Haas. Noah in P4 with Matty in 5th. He'll be gutted with that 3-second time penalty, because the race win was there for Matty Adam. And Reina in 6th. Makis in 7th. Luna in 8th. Squidge recovering up to 9th. But what could have been for Squidge? Oh my goodness. And that was one race to watch. So we say congratulations to Recon as well. What a race, what a finish. But Underjack, never leading the race once, picks up his first race win of the season. Tess just losing out, but it's a very, very second P2 in a row, and I believe with that result as well, he takes the top of the Drivers' Championship. I'm not certain, but I think so. Matty heartbroken with that result. We don't know why that penalty was issued. I would assume avoiding action for Squidge potentially. What a race. What a finish as well. It's been a chaotic Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, as it usually is. This one maybe more than others. Ondracek, who was fuming after the first lap. Everything had gone wrong for him. And now, race winner in Season 10. Tess in second, Recon in third, Noah in fourth, with Matty in fifth then. Last of the points finishers would be Jamar in P10. So congratulations to him. But what an end to the Grand Prix. Thank you very, very much for watching this race. I have a feeling we're going to have a bit of work to do in the admin meeting in a little bit of time. We will be back next week out for, if I'm not mistaken, the Miami Grand Prix. Around the US, Miami, the reprofile Miami track LiDAR scanned for this game. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. But until then, congratulations again to the podium sitters, Recon, Tess, and Ondercheck for a brilliant Saudi Grand Prix. Until next time then, stay safe everybody, have a good one, and peace out.